We're all here for one reason today. We're calling for the release and exoneration of Tiffany Carroll, who is herself a victim of domestic violence and battered women's syndrome. Everybody knows Tiffany to be a good, gentle, hard-working mother who, along with her children, were abused by a man for several years. She had an absolutely clean criminal and work record. She suffered and still suffers from battered women's syndrome. To protect her children, she would take them sometimes to stay with her neighbor while she endured beatings at home. Her neighbor described her as a prisoner in her own home. The police documented 8 calls to her house for domestic violence, but like many battered women, she was too scared to prosecute. It all came to a head one day, and she decided to fight back and protect herself and her children.
About 33 years ago, I had a precious little girl in my 2nd grade class named Tiffany Carroll. And to prove that, I have a plaque that a mother in this class made for me. And here's Tiffany's name right here. So I kept it all these years. When I retired, I became part of a Christian after-school program called Good News Club. And one day I noticed a 3rd grade little girl who looked so much like Tiffany. I just had to go up and ask her who her mother was, and she said Tiffany Carroll. And so I went out to the car line and hugged Tiffany, and I noticed she looked very sad and very tired, but she was the same sweet person that I had known as a student. On another day, I gave her my phone number because I could tell something was really wrong. She lost my number, and the next time I saw her was in our local newspaper, the Index Journal, for killing her abuser.
What she and her mom and her siblings endured was horrific. My family grieves every day. We're in pain and sorrow. We don't know how this happened. We didn't leave her in this. We've been accused of not trying to get her out of this. That was not the case. We did everything we could to save her. We did not expect this to happen. We know the other family lost a family member, but something was not right with this human being. He was not a person that could abuse my niece, his own child. She should have never been sentenced to jail. She was in a point where she knew she had no other choice. And she did it for survival of herself and her children. The day they came home, they couldn't come in the house because they had to beat her all day. And then she just left herself. Because the Janae we know was the devil harmed her feet. So for her to have stabbed him, she was not herself.
Janae was one of the sweetest, respectful, humble child. All through grade school, middle school, and high school. Never had a problem. Never went to see a teacher about anything. She's always respectful, humble, and loved people, and did her best to get along with people. Now, right now I'm standing on the promise of God.
Amen.
So this is kind of tough, but I know God got me. So I'm asking that she be released to be with her children, because they suffer day by day, because they need and want their mother. So I'm asking the court to please, if anything in their power, to do to release her to be with her children. This is my prayer, that you release her so she can be with her children.